Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Hey everybody, you already know what it is. It's your girl Shira, and yes, I am back with another video, y'all. So as you guys can see by that thumbnail and that title, we are back to talk about Baddies Africa. We're doing episode 8, y'all. We're going to be doing episode 8 today. Yes, I know I'm late. You don't gotta tell me in the comments because your girl is late, I know, but I'm going to try to catch up with everything this week, y'all, this week. So as far as episode 8, we gotta talk because a lot went down in Africa with these girls. Like, a lot went down for this episode. I was shook, but am I really surprised though? Because with these group of with this specific group right here, you just never know how they come in. Like, the new girls are doing a big one. OGs are still not doing enough for me, but I mean, we never know. Keep in mind, I am late with this episode right here, and then I haven't seen 9, 10, I haven't seen the new episodes, but listen, y'all, we need to catch up. We need to talk about episode 8. So if you guys are not subscribed, I don't know what y'all been doing. Go ahead and subscribe to your girl's channel because we are going to be talking about Baddies Africa and other stuff, you guys. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that comment button, go ahead and comment. I want to hear your voices. Go ahead and hit like, and also hit that notification bell so that way you are notified every time your girl posts another video just like this one, y'all. We're going to get straight into it. Let's talk about what happened in episode 8, what went down in Africa with these ladies, okay? Let's get into it, y'all. Let's go. Okay, y'all, so here is where we kind of get like a little sneak peek of what happened in the previous episode. The ladies, they went up. They did the most at this winery right here, and it was just a lot going on. If y'all remember, go see episode 7 because a lot went down. Now, y'all, heads up, before we get into episode 8, I need you guys to sit down, put on your seatbelts, do what you have to do, because listen, we are getting ready to go for a ride. These girls, they went crazy. They went up. So let's go, y'all. So here we are, episode 8. The girls are now going to Johannesburg, South Africa. Here's a new city. Hopefully they're going to give a new vibe. We shall see. No, they're not going to do that. They're not. So we get like a little sneak peek of like what the vibe is given for the city. It was a beautiful place. We saw like little clips and stuff of Johannesburg, and it was definitely a vibe. I definitely wanted to mention this too. Like, I never even known anything about like the art as far as like the sculptures and stuff in South Africa. Like, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. And I think if you haven't been to Africa, I know I haven't, I would want to go. So if you guys want to go, listen, let's all go together. Let's go together. And y'all, before the episode kind of like started, we see that Scotty, she had like a little quick medical emergency. She was saying like she had like a little quick panic attack. Nothing too crazy, but it's still serious for real. So I don't know where she got it from, but I mean, we can kind of figure out where she got the panic attack from with these girls, okay? So then the girls finally arrive. Listen, everybody's excited. The vibes are given, like, everybody's excited. They're happy, stuff like that. But of course, with these ladies, that don't last too long. So the ladies are kind of like catching up with one another. They're asking each other about how they feel concerning like what happened at the winery, stuff like that. Now, remember when Cold Killer, when she kind of like checked Natalie for not being like a good CEO as far as like getting to know all the new girls? I don't think she was wrong about that. So, on the sprinter, she was kind of saying like, listen, I have to kind of like say that because it's really not right for real. Like, Natalie not even trying to get to know us as new girls. And then, y'all, on the other sprinter, Rolly, she's kind of asking Tavy baby about how she feel concerning what happened at the winery. Now, Tavy was saying like, she is still kind of upset about it, and plus she had an issue with Fauna kind of like jumping in the fight between her and Cold Killer because Fauna had fought for her friend. Remember that, y'all? But of course, somebody always have to be the one to point out the obvious. Now, Big Lex, she was saying, wait a minute now, because we need to bring up the fact that you and Fauna was like kikiing off to the side, like off camera and stuff. So why are you trying to act like you have such a problem with her now when behind the scenes you were like cool with her in a way? So at least that's good for Big Les for kind of like pointing that out because none of us even knew that. Now, according to Tavy was saying like, listen, it was just like, a grown woman conversation. She was saying like, listen, I had Elsie back and then you had your girls back, so they were able to have a grown woman conversation. But Lex kind of like assumed that they were kikiing and stuff off camera, so we never know what it was. But according to Tavy, it wasn't no like Joe stuff. She was literally having a grown woman conversation with her. Now, on the other sprinter, Fauna and the ladies are asking Choco Brown like how she feels as far as her and K Rican's issue. So according to Choco, she was saying like they never really had an issue. It was just more of the disrespect aspect as far as what happened at the winery. She was saying like she felt really disrespected when K Rican was making her point, when everything was going haywire. She was pointing, and using her hands and stuff, was pointing at Choco and the other ladies as well. But Choco took offense to it, and that's how the two, had their beef in a way. But but it really wasn't no beef for real. Now the two ladies, they were able to agree, like, listen, it wasn't really beef, but Choco was saying that her issue was mainly with Diamond, you know, about her and Diamond's kind of like back and forth thing. Now she was saying that Diamond was still feeling away, so she just already, I guess she's already on guard. She doesn't really know how Diamond's going to come, so she just has her guard up automatically. Now y'all, back on the other sprinter with Tavy Baby and Big Lex and the other ladies, things get heated really quickly, y'all, really quickly. Now Big Lex is saying, like, listen, Tavy Baby, you pick and choose your battles. You want to pick and choose who you want to confront, who you want to fight. I don't think so, but that's what Big Lex was saying. That's what she was saying. But Tavy Baby was like, listen, I don't have to pick and choose who I want to fight. Listen, whoever got smoke with me, whoever got issues, listen, meet me on the floor. Like, listen, we can fight it out, we can argue, we can do what we have to do, but I'm not going to be scared about it. So I can respect that, because not mattering if she win the fight or if she lose the fight, she is still going to be facing her enemies head on. She don't have to do no sneaking anything. Like, she don't have to do none of that. Tavy really believes, like, the real reason why all these girls really had issues with her is the fact that, you know, she did get her chain first. So, you know, some of these girls are really upset. I know Dolly is just being a straight up hater, saying that she couldn't even think of one reason why Tavy got her chain first. So I think some of the other girls are low-key upset, but some of them, you know, they are excited the fact that she did get recognized for the things that she was doing, you know, being a real baddie for real. Now y'all, things go up really quickly, even more, y'all. So as you guys see, the two ladies are arguing. Big Lex, she's using her hands like this, you know how we talk, ladies, like sometimes we use our hands when we talk. Now Tavy, she doesn't like that. She's telling Big Lex to, you know, don't do that. Like, listen, I don't want you pointing in my face. But Big Lex is not even trying to hear that. She's saying, like, that's how I talk, and you're just mad because I'm calling you out on your mess because you cop please and you just pick and choose who you want to beef with for real. And then of course the two ladies start fighting. So it was just, according to like Elsie and like the other girls that were also on the same sprinter, when they was doing their confessionals, they was saying, like, listen, you felt the tension in the air, like you felt the tension boiling, like you can feel it. And even us viewing the episode, we can see that was just a fight waiting to happen. So we already knew it was going down. Now of course, corny Dolly. Now Dolly was already mad at the fact that she didn't get her chain when she was supposed to, and you know, Tavy got her chain, but because they're fighting, of course Dolly took that moment to steal Tavy's chain. I thought that was really corny, really whack, but look at who we're talking about here. She's been whack all season so far. Now the ladies on the other sprinter, they're kind of talking about Tavy getting her chain first. You know, these ladies are saying, listen, she's been doing her big one, like, listen, congratulations to her. Like, they was kind of bigging her up, like nobody was being a hater, nobody was saying, oh, she didn't deserve it. Everybody was congratulating her, as they should. Now back on the other sprinter, y'all, back where all this stuff is going on, y'all, as you guys can see, it's not that much rump on this sprinter. So why are they fighting? Like, it's just a lot going on. And of course Dolly gotta, you know, insert herself. Whenever one of her girls is fighting, she feel like she has to step in. Like, girl, stop. Like, she is doing too much for me, y'all, too much. Now when the girls finally arrive, when they finally get there to the Baddies hotel, right, Natalie, as you guys already know, Natalie is not riding with them. So Natalie met them there. So when as they're getting off, Rolly is like letting Natalie know what's going on, like who's fighting, what is going on. Rolly's hair is all messed up because she's trying to break up fights and stuff. So it's just a lot going on, y'all. As they're getting off the sprinter, y'all, of course they're fighting some more, and to me it just seems really tacky, really tasteless. And I think, you know, it shouldn't have happened in the first place, because, you know, Tavy was making a valid point. You know, she felt like the girls were really jealous because of the fact that she got her chain and she earned it. You know, she didn't have to kiss nobody tail just to get a chain. Like, you know, she wasn't anybody's lapdog or anything like that. You know, she earned her chain, and the girls are mad about it. So I think that's true, because some of them are giving very much hater, like Dolly and the rest of them. But it's like, come on now, let the girl have her chain. But of course Dolly stole it, so we don't know if she's going to get it back, but we shall see, y'all. Now as you guys can see, they're still fighting, but I'm not even going to hold you. Lex did her big one, because come on Tavy, like, you can't be so caught up in this. You have to be able to, like, you know, fight strategically, but she's not. And then as you guys can see, the girl was falling and all that. So it's just, it's not a good look at all. This is what I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that people were on LCK and Russian Cream's case because, Tavy was once their friend, but according to Russian Cream, her and Tavy wasn't really, as close like how they used to be because, she keeps seeing Tavy talking with her ops and stuff off camera. So according to her, she don't really appreciate that faking and weird stuff, so she can't get with it. So they're not really close for real. But, everybody was on their case and I didn't like that at all. Rolly, she was basically the main one that was really upset about, Russian Cream and Elsie not defending their friend. But I don't think Rolly knew at that time that they weren't as close like how they used to be. Rolly is still thinking that they're still cool for real. But I do understand what Rolly is saying. However, if you don't know the whole dynamic of their friendship, kind of like, declining, like their friendship was declining at that point. So it was no need for her to jump in. And here it is, the girl, her hand was already messed up from fighting other girls. So it's like, you cannot get mad at her for jumping in, because I'm quite sure if somebody was fighting one of her friends, Rolly is not jumping in that. But she did make a valid point. She was saying like, listen, I love Tavy. Why? Because Tavy is not afraid to stand up for herself, to voice how she feels, to fight if she had to argue if she had to. And that's facts, because Tavy has proven thus far, like, listen, I may not win every fight, listen, it doesn't matter who you are, what size you are, it don't matter. Like, I'm still going to defend myself and I'm still going to, fight you if I have to. So the girls are still fighting. As you guys can see, this is Dumb Dolly. Dumb Dolly right here. Her face is jacked up. I don't know who did this to her, but that looks terrible. So Natalie is just shook when she's hearing all this. Next thing you know, Diamond, she's calling somebody out. And Natalie is thinking that Diamond is calling her out. So she's like, you know what? I guess Natalie was kind of like playing it off. Natalie was really scared for real, in my opinion. I think she was scared. So she kind of like played it off and trying to make it into like a playful kind of moment. Like, girl, because when she did call you out, you didn't want that for real. You was just trying to like skate around the issue when she was trying to, address you about the issues head on. You wasn't trying to hear that. But she was calling out Choco, which was behind her. So that's what happened with that, yo. I thought that was weird, but yeah. So Diamond and Choco, they started fighting. Now this right here, I love this right here, because Choco, listen, her eye was already messed up from the incident as far as that room was concerned, but she is not backing down from a challenge, and I love that about her. Now the two started fighting. Do I think it was a fair one? No, and here's why. While they're fighting, you have Ivory off to the side, kind of like coaching Diamond. You coaching her, you're saying this, saying that, it's like, it's one thing to have your friend back, but it's another thing to like really put yourself literally in the middle of the fight. You're breaking up fights, you're making sure that the other girl is not hitting your friend in the face. Or it's like, who are you to tell somebody that that's enough, that's the end of the fight? After your friend had got her little few hits or whatever, now you feel like the fight is done? No, absolutely not. I think, yes, you are trying to be a good friend, true, but at the same time, come on now, no, because when you were fighting somebody, how would you feel if your opponent's friends is now, jumping in a fight because you are fighting them and you are getting the best of that person? You wouldn't like that. So I just think it was weird. I honestly do think it's weird that she keep jumping in Diamond's fights. It's like, okay, that's your friend, but come on now, that's too much. So after all that fighting, all that chaos and stuff outside of the Baddies Hotel, we finally get a glimpse of what it looks like inside, you guys, and it is beautiful. As you guys can see, you see the Baddies Africa, it's a vibe. It looks beautiful. So hopefully these girls can actually keep it up while they're here in Johannesburg. Y'all, so here in the next scene, we see Tavy Baby. She's kind of like talking to Natalie in her room, just kind of like catching up with her, trying to, tell Natalie what exactly was going on, how she feels as far as all these fights and stuff, including her, what's going on, why she feel like all these girls are against her. She honestly feel that these girls are really jealous of the fact that she got her chain first, and it's true. I believe they're jealous. I think that's what it's kind of given, but I honestly don't believe Natalie really cares about that. I think Natalie just wanted to be seen on camera in the room with Tavy, but do she care for real? I don't think so. Then in the next scene, y'all, we have Russian Cream. She's letting Big Lex, and this is DTB right here, she's letting them know exactly why she didn't jump in Tavy's fights. So she's telling them, like, listen, Tavy was talking to Fauna and them like off camera, when the cameras were off. She was being cool with them, kikiing with them and stuff, and she was saying that she can't get with that because when the cameras are on, these girls are your enemies for real. Like, you don't bang with them, but then off camera is something different. So I think Russian Cream also has that narrative of that's what happened. Like she feels like off camera Tavy is one way and then on camera she's another way. So according to her, she can't get with that, and that's not really her friend for real. Then you have Rolly. She's getting on LCK's case like, listen, Tavy has fought for you how many times, girl? And for you to not even try to have her back is just really weird. Which is so true, because if y'all look back at the previous episodes, y'all, Tavy has really had her back. You cannot deny that at all. Now, Rolly is getting on Russian Cream's case, as you guys can see. She is not backing down as far as being vocal concerning why them two ladies were not defending Tavy. Now, Rolly, for you not to know exactly what happened pertaining to like their friendship, why they're not really defending each other like how they should be, if you don't know what's going on, I wouldn't even interject myself. But I see why she's doing it, as one of the OG baddies. She's kind of like stepping in and voicing when she see kind of like weirdness going on pertaining to some of these friendships. But were they really friends for real? I mean, they was kind of building something, but if I see something weird going on to like somebody I'm trying to be cool with, I'm not going to be cool with that person. But Rolly didn't understand what was going on, so that's why she shouldn't have been vocal in this moment right here. Now here in this scene, y'all, you have Tavy Baby and Russian Cream. They're kind of like having a one-on-one, after Tavy wants to talk to her. But, Russian Cream is not trying to hear that. Why? Because she honestly believes that Tavy is really fake for real. But Tavy was asking her, like, listen, why didn't you have my back when these girls was trying to jump me, they was fighting me, like, as you guys, I don't know if you guys saw, but it was blood all over Tavy. So the girl was really fighting for real. So she was trying to ask her friend, quote unquote, why didn't she fight for her? Every time Russian Cream tried to answer, Tavy was cutting on top of her, which was rude for real. But, the conversation really didn't go anywhere because the ladies I think the friendship is kind of like done. If it even was a friendship, But as Russian Cream is walking away, Tavy is grabbing her arm. I wouldn't have did that, because if she would have swung on you, you can't be saying that somebody is jumping you or, she hit you first or none of that. You can't go grabbing her arm. Like, this girl is not trying to hear nothing you have to say. If you honestly believe within yourself, you are not fake. You never try to switch up off camera. Like, if that is really your stance for real, I wouldn't be trying to, overprove myself to somebody that is clearly believing what they want to believe. So this conversation right here, it basically goes nowhere. They tried to talk about it. They tried to kind of like make amends, if you even want to say it that. But, it went nowhere. So y'all, then an incident happens between these three ladies right here. Cold Killer, this is K Rika and Agree, and then Fauna right here going off. So apparently, like, these ladies, they were waiting to get their hair done and stuff in the glam room, stuff like that. But as they're getting their hair done, as you guys can see, Cold Killer and K Rika, they have like natural hairstyles done, slick back ponytail, slick back bun, stuff like that. Fauna, she was getting a whole wig installed. Now, if these ladies were in the chair getting their hair done, why is Dolly, upset about the fact that, they have to wait? I guess because, because according to Natalie, the new girls, they have to do their own hair and makeup. But, I guess because these three ladies, Dolly automatically feels like these three ladies are trying to replace her, Summer, and Lex. I don't think so, but that's what Dolly was kind of like given since episode 1. But, Dolly was pretty much upset about that. Now, K Rika is saying, like, listen, even when the cameras are off, Dolly always has something slick to say about us. And, I mean, we will never know because, of course, we can't see the behind-the-scenes stuff. But, I mean, it's clear Dolly just straight up don't like these girls. Now, she's trying to explain everything to Natalie and trying to say, like, listen, I was there to get glam done first. But, if you see, like, well, according to Fauna, I believe like her and Fauna was in the glam room together, but Dolly just straight up don't like them. I think that's the root of it. She just straight up don't like them. No matter what they do, no matter what they say, Dolly is just going to be upset and just be a hater for real. But right here, she's kind of explaining to Natalie what exactly happened, and Natalie doesn't really look interested in it. But I guess as the CEO, it needs to be seen on camera that you are somewhat trying to, diffuse things. But I don't think she really cares for real. Now, Natalie goes off to the other room where the other ladies are, and then Pretty P is also here also. So the three ladies are explaining to Natalie what's going on. Natalie is telling them what Dolly has said to her in the other room, but they were trying to explain to Natalie what exactly happened. Now, Fauna was saying that nobody made her to leave, and Dolly was making it seem like it was such an issue for her to get glam with Dolly in the same room. But I honestly believe Dolly just straight up don't like them. I mean, it's clear. Now, Natalie, she's back here in the same glam room with Dolly, and here's Lex right here trying to get her hair done as well. Now, according to what Dolly was saying, she was saying like the other three girls were saying slick stuff the whole time, but Dolly was just handling it like an OG. She was just trying to keep it cool, but of course things kind of like blew up. But girl, I don't believe that not one bit, but that's what Dolly is saying. That's what she's saying what happened. But Natalie, I don't think she was really trying to hear that, but she let both of these ladies know, like, listen, there's about to be a talent show going on in the other room. Listen, we want everybody to get ready for the talent show. I want to see everybody's talent. What can y'all really do for real? And when Natalie said talent show, I'm not even gonna hold you, I was like, okay, talent show, like about time we see something else besides fighting. But y'all want to see what kind of talent these ladies had to show on that stage. And of course, before we even get to the talent show, of course, Dolly and Fauna is going back and forth yet again, like these girls cannot stop. Fauna, to me, she's just like a little firecracker. Like, if you get her started, she cannot stop. So I get it. I get where the fire and the passion is coming from. But girl, just go finish getting ready. Let that miserable girl do what she do. Just don't even worry about Dolly for real. Just do you. But Cold Killer, she was like, listen, Dolly is just nothing but a clout chaser, and she's just mad, and she's a hater. She's mad at the fact that her spot is being taken this season. Because Dolly really thought that she was about to come in this season, being a bully, being like the head honcho type girl. Girl, if anything is giving weirdo, it's giving hater, it's giving clout chaser. It is, because she wasn't really doing that. If y'all remember, Dolly wasn't really, like, she had her fights and stuff, but she wasn't doing what she's doing now. She wasn't doing all this last season. Like, it was really weird kind of seeing that transformation. And I honestly believe because the heavy hitters are not there. Tasiki is not here this season. So you don't have to really do too much. You don't have to really do too much, Dolly. But for some reason, she feel like she has to do too much. So, I mean, yeah. But Cold Killer was right about that. So here is Natalie, here's Diamond, and here's Rolly. They're talking about all the fighting and stuff that has been going on. They're just kind of like chit chatting right before the talent show. Natalie, she really feels like the fighting is getting to be a lot. And I agree with her. Like, it is a lot. But Natalie, she's barely in the house to kind of understand anybody's view, anybody's take on anything. So you have to be there, Natalie, to kind of understand what's going on. So the ladies arrive to the talent show area. Some of them are excited, some of them are not. So, I mean, I'm gonna show you exactly how this talent show kind of thing went. So first, Choco Brown, she goes first, and the song that she did was kind of a vibe. I liked it. It was talking about, it was kind of like a black woman, black girl, kind of like empowerment kind of vibe. But I mean, everybody was jamming to it though. I liked it. I liked the message behind it. It was a beautiful song. It was a vibe. Now, K Rican, she goes next, but her song was just so ghetto. It was just too much. Kitty cat this, kitty cat that, and she didn't say kitty cat, y'all. She said the other word. But girl, like, what other talent can you do? Like, what other talent can you do? I'm so sick of like these young women. All they want to do is glorify their cat and talk about this, talk about that. It's like, what else can you do? Like, if you don't want nobody to call you out your name, you don't want people to call you things, don't portray that. Don't do that, because that's not cute. Nothing about that is cute. Then Rolly goes next, y'all. Now, her talent is the iconic, banana trick. And if you guys don't know what that is, use your imagination. That's all I'm gonna say. So she did that, and of course the girls went crazy. So if you guys don't know, go look it up, because I'm not showing it here. I'm not showing it here, okay? So, I mean, even Diamond, she was shocked, because Diamond was telling her, like, listen, Rolly, you might have some competition. But Diamond was shook. So, if Diamond is shook, Rolly, you did your big one. Then Diamond goes next, y'all. So, this girl has on a ski mask, and she's kind of like doing a poetry kind of like monologue, kind of like, I don't know. But it was basically to her song, Line It Up. I believe that's what it's called. But it was good. It was funny, it was entertaining. So the girls loved it. Then Cold Killer goes next. As you guys remember, Cold Killer was accusing Diamond and Tinka of stealing her song. But I knew something was about to go down. I had a feeling she was going to perform that song, considering that was kind of like her thing all season so far, you know, saying that was her song. But I mean, it was just crazy how they did her while she's up there performing. You know, Diamond, she's saying like little things in the background, you know, being really disrespectful for it. Whole time, you know, she's basically saying her lyrics on top of Cold Killer. And then, you know, Cold Killer just keeping it professional, you know, but she's still clapping back at Diamond. So the two of them are just going back and forth at this point. So Natalie asks Rolly and Diamond, like, so who dropped the song first? And Rolly was able to admit the truth. She was saying like that was Cold Killer's song first. Then Diamond, she's trying to justify it. She's trying to say X, Y, and Z, but they're not trying to hear it. And then, you know, Natalie was saying that she was going to call Tinka herself to kind of hear Tinka's point of view. So y'all, Natalie, she decides to fact check the whole situation. She calls Tinka on the phone to get the real tea, like what exactly happened as far as that song was concerned. And then of course, y'all, Tinka Bella and Cold Killer, they go back and forth. Now I'm quite sure by now, you know, Tinka, she kind of knows that Cold Killer is going around saying that that's her song, that her and Diamond stole the song. You know, I'm quite sure she's made aware of what's going on. So I'm quite sure she knows, so that's why they're arguing right now. Now Natalie, she knew what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing when she called Tinka. So the girls just went up, and unfortunately it got nowhere. Like they was just continuing to argue. Tinka even said like, listen, after I drop this baby, because Tinka is pregnant, so after she gives birth, you know, she is coming for Cold Killer, you know, because I guess she's just tired of this whole narrative being pushed, the fact that her and Diamond stole the song when that's not true, according to Tinka. So then you guys, this is where the episode concludes, and yes, as always, we get that little quick sneak peek at the end to kind of like show us what's going to happen in episode 9. So let's get into it. So I mean, of course, we're going to start off with Tinka and Cold Killer going back and forth. They just arguing about the whole song situation. Then Dolly and Lex, they perform their song. Now this song is supposed to be like a diss song towards Diamond, but Dolly is just so whack, y'all. She is so corny to me. So then fast forward, y'all, these ladies, they had to go to a booking. So let me show you exactly what happened at this booking. At the booking, the ladies are having an amazing time. Dolly was able to perform her song. You know, it was of course the diss track towards Diamond, corny as always. But while she's performing, y'all, Diamond and Ivory is encouraging the audience to boo them. I thought that was even more corny. I mean, if you don't like the girl, you don't like the girl, but now, if she did that to your song, Diamond, or if she did that to you, Ivory, y'all would not be liking it at all, and y'all would want to fight this girl over that. Fast forward, Natalie, she tells Diamond, like, listen, we're getting ready to go to another little fun, little adventure and stuff. The ladies are going to go to, like, this cultural, you know, village type of thing, so that way they can see, like, another side of South Africa. I thought that was a beautiful idea. And then you guys, Pretty P, she shared that she just found out that her grandfather had passed away. And as you guys can see, you know, she's pretty sad about that. So of course we're going to send her all the love in the world. You know, Pretty P, she didn't really get into too much drama this season so far, but it's just a sad thing while you're away. You know, you're living your life, you're making your money, stuff like that, and then you hear something about that. You know, it's just really sad. But you know, we send her all the love in the world. Then fast forward, Dolly and Big Lex right here, they're trying to call Summer on the phone on FaceTime, but Summer is not answering their call. I mean, we will never know why, but maybe she didn't see it, I don't know, but they tried to call her. Then fast forward, Scotty, she met up with Rolly to kind of like catch her up on what exactly happened with her as far as like the emergency room scare. You know, she had like a little medical emergency. She had a panic attack, anxiety attack, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, she just kind of like, now she knows she has to pace herself and kind of like, you know, handle her emotions better. Fast forward, the ladies arrive to the village. You know, everybody's having an amazing time. The performers are doing their thing. You know, the ladies are dancing, they're vibing. You know, it's a good vibe. It's a good start to it, right? Of course, it's not going to end that way. The ladies get into it. Tavy Baby, as you guys can see, she's taking off her shoes. She's getting into it with Dolly because, of course, as you guys know, Dolly took her chain. So, I mean, she's going to want to fight over her chain. She wants her chain back. And then Big Lex jumps in. It was just a lot, y'all. And then the sneak peek concludes with Big Lex right here and Tavy Baby. Them two are fighting. So, of course, it does not end well. I mean, both of these ladies, they can fight. You know, Tavy Baby, for this episode, she did lose a few points in that department. But, you know, these two ladies can both handle their, you know, they can both hold their own. So, it's just a bad thing considering they're at a village in South Africa. Like, sit down and enjoy the culture. Why you have to be here acting ratchet, acting dumb? Like, okay, you got beef with these girls, but it's like, come on now. You think now is the time to want to handle that? Like, come on, wait till y'all get home. Wait till y'all get home. But I know with some of them, like, once they start their the rants and stuff. Once they're like on go, they're on go. There's no comedy ladies now, so unfortunately they fall at the villa. And y'all, that was the end of episode 8. Now let me break down to y'all exactly what I feel about this episode. This episode was really crazy from top to bottom. I mean, it was just a lot of fighting. I didn't like the fact that, as far as Tavy's fights and stuff, I didn't like that they wanted Russian Cream and Elsie to jump in. Elsie, she was just scared altogether. She has a lot of mouth, doesn't really have hands. But as far as Russian Cream, they wanted her to jump in. But if they were not friends, they wasn't cool. Don't expect her to jump in. I'm quite sure their friends is not going to jump in their fights, so they can't expect her to do any different. But I didn't like that. Then like the whole Ivory, trying to coach Diamond how to fight on the side, and then you're interjecting yourself. You're bringing yourself on her fight, trying to separate it. You telling them, all right, that's enough. Who is you to tell them that's enough fighting? Like, Diamond clearly want to keep going. So I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that at the talent show, everybody else is performing a vibe and stuff like that. When Cole Killer on the mic, Diamond got all this stuff to say. I didn't like that. Of course, I don't like the weird stuff that Dolly is doing towards Cole Killer, K Rika, and Fauna. I think it was really weird because for you to be a OG, even though they're not doing the new G and OG thing this season, but for you to now, this is now your second season, so you would think certain things you wouldn't do. But I don't know who this new Dolly is, but I can't stand her. Last season she was cool, I didn't have too much to say about her, because she was still new. But now it's like, okay, now you're doing way too much. And I don't agree with the whole still in chains stuff. I don't agree with that. And Natalie was even saying that too, like as far as the chains was concerned, she don't think that should even be a thing anymore, because people keep stealing other people's chains. Like, I think it's so weird. Like, it's weird. But I mean, I really hope that the ladies can kind of like I don't even know. I really do hope they can have class, because you are in Africa. Why are y'all in Africa fighting? Why are y'all doing this in Africa? But, I mean, if you have beef with somebody, it doesn't matter where you at. They're going to handle that right then and there. But I just feel like it's a time and place for everything, You don't want to be in public. You're doing this in public. And Diamond even said that too. Like, I don't want to be in public fighting and stuff. Do that at home, at the house. We can handle it at the house, Let's not do that while we're out. Everybody looking cute, We're not fighting and stuff. Wigs is off. It's not a good look. I think, of course, Natalie, she needs to be more involved as far as knowing what's going on, hearing everybody's views, everybody's take on different things, not just hearing who she want to hear, but hear everybody's voice, hear everybody's heart for real. And I don't know, it has to be in you to want to do something like that. It has to be in you. Nobody can't force you to be more involved with these girls. You have to want to do that. But I mean, that's the end of this episode, y'all. I cannot wait to see episode 9. I'm gonna try to do 9 and 10 merged together so that we can just speed this thing up. But I do appreciate everyone that had locked in with me for this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are not subscribed already, go ahead and do so. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that comment button. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so that way you are notified every time your girl posts another video just like this one, y'all. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for rocking with me and loving on me as I love on y'all. And I will see we will see each other in the next video, y'all. We will see each other in the next video. All right, y'all. I love you guys so much, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out.